Kashmiri papier-mâché is called Naqashi because it is known for its style of surface decoration with hand-drawn motifs whose charm lies in its beautiful vocabulary. Once the paper is sorted for uniformity in size and weight, it is soaked for a week. The longer the paper is soaked, the finer the resulting pulp. Once the pulp has dried, it is kneaded with homemade rice paste to make a jellified mixture locally known as burra. The rice paste also serves as a binder and adhesive in later stages. It's the talent of the kumbhar, which means potter, that determines the beauty of the shape. The process begins with creating a hand-thrown clay mold in the desired shape. After it is fired, it goes to the saktsazi team. Each slow step in the saktsazi process adds to the overall strength of the bowl, making it durable, resistant to cracks, and uniformly smooth to touch. The mold is then covered with a layer of lightly glued dry paper that prevents the burra from sticking to the surface. Once the glue dries, a half-inch layer of burra is applied on the outer surface of the mold and is then evened out using a kareen, which is like a trowel. To hold the casted bowl and mold together, a locked layer is applied on the lip. In this state, the casted bowl sits dry in direct sunlight for 2 days. Upon drying, a layer of fine paper is applied on its outer surface and finished by rubbing with a stone that comes from the Pahalgam river. The lock layer is then scrubbed off using a metal filer called katwa. The rim of the outer layer is lightly tapped with a katwa to separate the bowl from the mold. The ring is attached to the base using saresh, which is a traditional glue made by melting leather in water. A coat of glue mixed with multani mitti, which is volcanic clay, is applied to the entire bowl. This acts as a seal. Fine tissue-like paper is applied with glue to fill in any microscopic gaps. This technique makes the bowl stronger and heat resistant from direct sunlight. Decorating begins with a white primer coat that allows for a bright and true hue base color. Getting the exact shade right can take several rounds of sampling and approval between Srinagar and Delhi in order to achieve perfection. 4 layers and sometimes more of the base color are dabbed on using a velvet cloth. This gives a chenille effect. We created designs in a contemporary style. This one is called Nagin because it is inspired by the memory of a shikara ride. The artwork features a songbird perched on a cherry blossom tree surrounded by the sunlit blue waters of Nagin Lake in Srinagar. The master artist traces the details of the design onto a transfer sheet. Holes are pricked along the trace lines to create a sancha or trace guide. Powder is poured through the holes to leave an outline on the bowl's surface, thus transferring the image to be painted. Unlike a standardized assembly line process, each artist manages the process from beginning to end of decorating their bowl with complete artistic ownership. Because brushes can leave stroke marks, 2 coats of varnish are generously applied by hand. It takes 2 to 5 days for each coat to dry, depending on the season. At this point, gold highlights are added. Most Naqashi objects today use commercial gold paint, but the tradition is to work with 22 karat gold, as we have done over here. The difference is best realized when these pieces are treasured as heirlooms. The gold paint fades in time, but real gold will never lose its luster, even over generations. Once dry, the gold details are polished with a special semi-precious stone. This brings out the brighter yellow tones in gold. Then 2 more coats of varnish are applied to lock in the shine, giving the bowl the gloss of finest lacquerware. Every handmade, hand-painted object is a collectible, and it takes dozens of processes over 30 days for each Gujarat Naqashi object to go from waste paper to fine art decor.